Hello, and thank you so much for joining us here for Discovery Days. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and say thank you to our sponsors, the Chickasaw Nation and the Inasmuch Foundation. They make free family programming possible here at the museum. And so let's go ahead and get started. So this is our museum, and is located in Midtown near downtown Oklahoma City. And here at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, we believe in telling Oklahoma's story through its people. And so we tell the story of more than 700 Hall of Fame members and their accomplishments and how they've helped the state of Oklahoma. And so today we're talking about a recent Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. John T. Nickel. When Mr. Nickel was 22, he established the Greenleaf Nursery Wholesale south of Tahlequah. And today it is one of the nation's largest wholesale producers. So they sell lots of plants, lots of greenery to companies. Nickel and his business partners made a $1 million donation to the horticulture department of OSU. So not only is he a great businessman, he's also very generous with his money. He also donated 14,000 acres to the Nature Conservancy. So he believes in conserving nature. And so for his efforts towards conserving nature, he has received many different awards for his efforts. And so he's an awesome example of an Oklahoman. And so today our story time is going to reflect Mr. Nickel's love of outdoors. And we are reading Summer Color by Diana Murray, and it is illustrated by Zoe Persico. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my camera switched over for everyone. And let's go ahead and get started, jump on into story time. And so like I said, today we are reading Summer Color by Diana Murray. And so there's lots of great colors in this book. And so I'm going to do my best to show all the great illustrations. And so, the hot summer sun lights the sky like a torch as folks fan themselves on the shady back porch. The sparrows keep chirping a song soft and mellow, and sunflowers reach up with the petals so yellow. So we can see everybody sitting out on the back porch. We can see the sunflowers reaching up in their beautiful yellow petals. Mama serves peaches and cold lemonade. It's hard to stay cool even here in the shade. Daddy and Uncle bring chairs from the shed. Our cousin shares ice pops, so swirly and red. So we see that they got the ice pops with the chairs coming in. Those look like some good popsicles if you really like popsicles. But far past our yard in the little stone well, so we see the stone well out there. Beyond the tall meadow where quiet deer dwell. So we see the deer. They're out in the meadow. And over the hill where the willow trees sway, the clouds in the sky turn a dark shade of gray. So it kind of looks like the clouds are turning gray. The wind starts to stir, a few drops pitter-patter, and critters that creep in the grass quickly scatter. Rain batters down on the blustery scene as cardinals fly into the treetops so green. So we see them, they're getting rained on, or it's starting to rain, it looks like, as the animals run for cover. There's a fox, the cardinals, even a little raccoon. Splashing and splattering, streak after streak, the rain soaks the earth and sweeps over the creek. where frogs start to croak and the water snakes slink and wildflowers glisten with petals so pink. So they're walking right over the snake. So if you're scared of snakes, you got to really be careful there. But there's the frog there with the petals from the wildflowers. It rains on the cliffs where the egrets take flight, and down on the waterfall, misty and white. So there's the waterfall, so misty. So white, there's the egrets. They begin to take flight there. Quite a beautiful scene. It rains on the lake where the paddle boats rock and drenches the people who fish on the dock. The picnickers pack up their salads and pie and run with their bright purple blankets held high. So see them, they're trying to protect themselves from the rain with their blankets. It rains on the meadow where cozy mice hide. So you see them, they're hiding in their burrow. And then in our yard as we hurry inside. So it even made it all the way to their house. Our soggy shoes squeak when we race through the door. We crowd by the window and watch the rain pour. So there they are, they're all gathered by the window, wrapped up in their blankets. Probably much more comfortable now than they were when they were outside. It falls on the chairs and the swing set out back, on the brown wooden fence and on the shed painted black. A flash and a crash fill the thundery sky, but we're snug in our soft orange towels, all dry. So you see them, they're all warm, safe inside from the weather. The storm drifts away and reveals the bright sun. We head to the yard for some more summer fun. So it looks like it's cleared up. The rain left behind a refreshing cool breeze and silvery droplets that sparkle on trees, and plenty of puddles for playing in too. And in each reflection, a clear sky of blue. So the animals have even come out to enjoy some of the summertime fun, as you can see. We skip and we jump, we twirl and we dash. Our hot summer day ends with a splash. And so that is it for story time today. And I don't know about y'all, but I really enjoyed that. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into craft time. And so we are actually going to be making our very own watermelon fans. And so they would really benefit from some of that storm, some of that nice water coming down. So what we'll need for today's craft, we will need half a paper plate. We will need a red piece of paper like that, a half circle, a black crayon, and then a popsicle stick. And then we have our other crayons. Let me get those out. And then some glue as well. And so the first thing we're gonna do, because I don't know about y'all, I've seen some watermelons that come in different colors like black and that sort of thing, but I've never seen a white watermelon. So I'm gonna go ahead and color the outside of my watermelon. And I'm gonna go ahead and do mine in green. But like I said, you can do whatever color you want. I've seen all sorts of kinds of watermelon. I think I've seen black watermelon, but I'd love to see some pink, maybe even an orange watermelon. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine in green. And so you gotta be careful with the ridges there of the plate to make sure you color in between them. They do make it a little bit more tricky and difficult to color, but you can still get in between there. And just as long as you take your time and you're very careful. And so I'm about done painting the outside of my watermelon. And that's called the rind of the watermelon. And so that protects the inside, the part that we like to eat, protects it from bugs and that sort of thing as it grows. And so I have the outside of the rind of my watermelon colored on there. And so the next thing we're going to go ahead and do, and I'm going to attach this red piece of paper to be the inside of my watermelon. And if you don't have the red piece of paper, that's okay. You can use a crayon or something like that. And you don't even have to have it as a red watermelon. You can do whatever color you want. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue the piece of paper. And so I'm going to glue the back side of the piece of paper. I'm going to put glue all over it on every possible little inch because I want it to stick to the plate. And so I'm going to make sure, like I said, to put it all over my piece of paper. And so I think that's probably about enough. And so I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. And so I'm going to line it up with this straight edge right here. And then I'm going to press real hard to make sure it stays. And so that looks pretty close to my watermelon. But I have a black crayon here. And I'm going to use my black crayon. And I'm going to use that to draw the seeds of my watermelon. And so I don't know about y'all, but I love watermelon. And so I want my watermelon to be able to grow more watermelons. And so by having the seeds, I'm going to be able to plant those once I'm done eating my watermelon. And that way I can keep growing watermelon and more people will be able to enjoy. And so let me go ahead. I'm going to do a bunch of seeds, like I said, because I want mine to be able to grow lots of other watermelon for others. There we go. So there we go. That's about good, I think. So there we go. I got all my seeds on my watermelon. And be sure not to eat those. They don't taste very good. But the last thing we need, since this is a watermelon fan, we need a way to wave the fan. We can use our hands, but that's not as easy. So we're going to attach a popsicle stick. And so we're going to flip over our fan, our watermelon. And so I'm going to do it along the curved edge down here, but you can do it along the flat edge, whichever edge you prefer. And so you can use some glue. And so if you're going to use glue, you just put a bunch of glue on the back of the plate right there and then attach your popsicle stick right there. You can put a piece of tape over it and kind of tape it like that. I'm going to use a glue dot because that's what I have available. And so I'm going to peel it off. And there we go. And so I'm going to press it down where I want it to go on my plate. I'm going to press down hard. I'm going to peel up this piece of plastic and make sure that my glue dot stays. And so there's my glue dot. Can't see it. See, there's the glue dot right there. And so I'm going to take my popsicle stick and I'm going to attach it. I'm going to press real hard. Make sure I get it on there. And there is my watermelon fan. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to show y'all the finished product with this camera. And without further ado, like I said, here's our watermelon fan. It just took a little bit of time. And now you can use it to fan yourself on a warm summer's day. So thank you so much for joining me here for Discovery Day. We hope y'all had a great, enjoyable time. And we can't wait to see y'all until next time. Thank you.